mind reading is not magic, it's an art. But what if I told you that you could learn how to do it? Imagine what it would be like to understand what people are really feeling and thinking just by observing their gestures and body movements. In this video, we're going to dive into the world of body language and learn how to decipher it. Today, I'm going to show you some simple but powerful techniques that will help you better understand the people around you. Body language is like a secret code that most people don't notice, but it's always there, right next to us. Once you understand its subtleties, you can feel more confident in communication, better understand your interlocutors, and even predict their actions. Let's open this wonderful world together, where every movement, look, and posture tell us what is going on inside a person. Stay with me until the end to find out how this knowledge can change your life. We'll break down not only the basic gestures, but also learn how to notice the nuances that reveal people's true feelings and intentions. Immerse yourself in this fascinating process with me. Body language is the way our body expresses emotions and thoughts without using words. It includes everything from facial expressions to posture, gestures, and even micro-movements. For example, when someone crosses their arms over their chest, it might indicate that they feel defensive or distrustful. On the other hand, open palms and a relaxed posture suggest a willingness to engage and trust. Understanding body language allows us to read the emotional state of the other person and gain deeper insight into their intentions. Why is understanding body language important? Often, people say one thing but show something entirely different. For instance, someone might claim they like everything, but their body reveals discomfort. They may back away, avoid eye contact, or nervously fidget with something in their hands. The ability to recognize such contradictions allows you to see beyond words and make more informed decisions, whether in personal relationships, business, or friendships. Examples of gestures and their meanings. Smile. A smile is one of the most powerful tools of communication, but it's important to understand its nuances. A genuine smile, which reaches the eyes, is called a Duchenne smile and indicates true joy. Meanwhile, a forced or asymmetrical smile might indicate false affirmation or hidden emotions. Eye contact can say a lot. If someone avoids eye contact, it might suggest they feel insecure, are hiding something, or are simply uninterested in the conversation. A long, steady gaze might indicate interest or dominance. Example, in a business meeting, one of the participants may constantly avoid your gaze, which could signal their insecurity in the proposal or fear of revealing a truth. Posture. An open and relaxed posture indicates readiness to interact and trust, while crossed arms and legs can signal closed off or defensive behavior. It's also important to note the position of the body relative to the speaker. Leaning forward suggests interest, while leaning back indicates distance or reluctance to continue the conversation. For reading emotions through micro-expressions. Micro-expressions are tiny, fleeting movements that appear for a fraction of a second. They happen so quickly that they are hard to notice without practice, but they can give you valuable information about a person's true feelings. For example, a quick smirk or eyebrow raise may indicate surprise or insincerity, even if the rest of the face remains still. These micro-expressions often appear during moments of stress or when a person is trying to conceal their true emotions. Mistakes to avoid. One of the most common misconceptions is the belief that specific gestures have the same meaning for everyone, but that's not the case. Culture, context, personal traits, and even a person's mood play a significant role. For example, in some cultures, a smile can be a sign of discomfort rather than joy. Therefore, it's important not to jump to conclusions and consider all details together. Example, you notice that your colleague from another country always smiles when you criticize them. Your first reaction might be incorrect. They're not laughing at you, but perhaps trying to soften negative emotions following cultural norms. Context is key to correct interpretation. Imagine a situation where a person at a meeting constantly looks at their watch. You might think they're bored or eager to leave. However, if that person is expecting an important call or meeting, their behavior might be driven by perfectly reasonable causes. Context is everything. It's important not just to notice gestures, but to understand why the person is using them in that particular situation. Example, in one social situation, crossed arms might mean that the person is cold, while in another, it could indicate that they feel uncomfortable or are trying to protect themselves. recognizing contradictions between words and body. Sometimes our words and gestures don't align. For example, someone might say everything is fine, but their body tells a different story: tense posture, avoiding eye contact, or nervous finger tapping. In such cases, it's important to pay attention to the nonverbal signals, as they are often more truthful. Example, at an important business meeting, your partner may assure you that they fully agree with the terms, but if their body stiffens and their movements become abrupt, it may indicate that they are experiencing doubts inside. How to improve your body language reading skills. Improving this skill takes time and practice. One way to practice is by observing people in public places, like cafes or on the street. Try to guess what they're talking about or what they're feeling based on their body language alone. It's also helpful to practice in real-life situations, paying more attention not just to words but to nonverbal cues. Example, try conducting small experiments when interacting with friends or colleagues. Asking questions like, "What do you really think?" after noticing a contradictory gesture can help you test your hypotheses and improve your interpretation of body language. How to apply this knowledge in everyday life. Reading body language is useful not only in professional settings but also in personal life. For example, in relationships, it can help you better understand your partner and avoid unnecessary conflicts. If you notice that your significant other avoids eye contact or shows nervousness in certain situations, it could be a sign that something is wrong. It's important not to ignore these signs and discuss the issues as they arise. For example, at a recent gathering with friends, you noticed that your partner constantly looked away and didn't participate in the conversation. Instead of jumping to conclusions, try talking to them privately and finding out what's bothering them. Final thoughts on reading body language. Body language is a complex but extremely valuable tool that allows you to better understand people and their true intentions. But like any skill, it takes time to develop and practice. The more you study and apply this knowledge, the more natural the process of reading people will become. It's important to remember that there are no universal gestures. Always consider the context and surrounding circumstances. Real-life examples. In business, suppose you're in a negotiation and your partner claims to fully agree with your terms. However, you notice that their body betrays anxiety. They lean back, cross their arms, and avoid eye contact. These signs may indicate that the partner isn't entirely confident in the offer or fears possible consequences. In personal relationships, your significant other might say everything is fine, but if they're nervously fiddling with their hands or avoiding eye contact, it could be a sign that something is bothering them. Such observations can help you address issues early and prevent conflicts. Practical application. Start small. Next time you're at a meeting or in a social setting, try to focus on the body language of others. Try to determine their emotional state, not by listening to their words, but by observing their movements, gestures, and facial expressions. This can become a fascinating and useful exercise that will gradually lead to improved understanding of those around you. How body language affects you. Remember that body language works both ways. The way you carry yourself influences how others perceive you. For example, a confident posture and open stance can help you appear more approachable and self-assured, even if you're feeling uncertain inside. Example, if you want to make a good impression at a job interview, focus on keeping your back straight, maintaining eye contact with the interviewer, and avoiding nervous gestures. Continuing your education. To continue developing your skills, it's recommended to read books and articles on psychology and nonverbal communication. Practice combined with theoretical knowledge will help you become more aware and sensitive to nonverbal cues. Over time, you'll be able to use this skill in all areas of your life, from personal relationships to business negotiations. Conclusions. Understanding body language is the key to deep interaction with others. It allows you to see beyond words, understand true emotions and intentions, making communication more conscious and effective. But remember, each person is unique, and their gestures should always be considered in context. The conclusion. Today, we delved into the fascinating world of body language, exploring its key aspects and examples. You've learned how to recognize various gestures and micro-movements that help better understand people. This knowledge can become your secret weapon in communication, allowing you to see more than just words. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue learning about the psychology of communication, subscribe to our channel. We strive to share useful tips and methods that will help you become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and share your thoughts in the comments. What gestures have you already learned to recognize? What situations would you like to better understand? Let's discuss it together.